TF2 is broken and no one cares. Bold statement. However, I wanted to take a look at this because transitioning into the whole like Halloween TF2 event, there were some issues, and I've been experiencing some issues in game. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm cool trying to go find a pretty cool unusual of the spy frog hat. Super down with that. But I've been experiencing some issues, and I kind of wanted to get a little more perspective on what is meant by Team Fortress 2 is broken, especially because we did have a patch actually drop today as of the 24th of October 2025. Without further ado.
Alright, another Scream Fortress has arrived. We got new hats, new maps, new taunts, more unusual effects. Par for the course, but hey, everyone's excited about this. We got a great new batch of content to play with. Morbius, everyone's favorite meme from 2022, is now immortalized in the game. Optimus Prime has rolled out of spawn.
Dr. Eggman is ready to face down those pesky blue hedgehogs.
God, I can't wait to dive in and try out this new content. I look forward to playing the new contracts every year. Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine.
I've had this a couple times, actually.
I'll just try again.
Yep. And the funny click.
All right, awesome. We got a match. Perfect. Oh, hey, Afterlife, the new V-Script arena map everyone is really excited about. Is it broken? All right, no worries. I'll just queue for a new game.
Oh,
all right, great. Different map this time. It's time to play... Oh, the game's over.
Wild.
No problem. I'll just re-queue again.
Sure. Happens sometimes, unfortunately. You get to the end of a 2-fort map. Wow.
Okay, this is a problem. But we already know what causes this. We already know that every time...
Sorry, I apologize. If I'm a little stuffy, I do apologize. I'm a little sick right now. I am taking a rest after this, so if you see me a little sniffly, or here, I do apologize about that.
Valve updates this game, the matchmaking system breaks, and you simply can't play the new content for a good while. We already know that the content contained within these updates varies so wildly in quality that it's either pretty good or literally unplayable. We already know that outside of update season, casual mode, more often than not, provides a frustrating, disruptive experience for new and old players alike. Players are constantly re-queuing for games that last less than 5 to 10 minutes, queuing out of one-sided stomps, queuing out of half-empty or completely empty servers. We get placed into games that are 2 minutes away from ending.
Right.
We get placed into servers after a game ends. We have broken pre-round timers, glitchy slot reservations, and auto-balance keeping team sizes uneven. The crummy party system that makes it a chore to play with friends. We disconnect from the game coordinator for no apparent reason. We have dead maps, dead game modes, the list goes on. If you think I'm being hyperbolic, I'm not. This is not broken or dysfunctional in any kind of exaggerative sense.
No,
when most updates arrive, TF2 literally breaks. It is often impossible to play the new content.
He's absolutely correct, right? Like, so doing reactions, right? And I'm pretty sure Zesty Jesus' TF2 You Will Not Play is the longest reaction on my channel, clocking in at like 7 hours. I'm pretty sure it's the longest, right? Like, I've enjoyed playing TF2, and I apologize. I've honestly just felt really bad. I haven't done a community night in a hot minute, and I want to again. I've just been really sick and just kind of feeling awful. But I honestly enjoy it. Like, I'm just not really good at the game, but I do enjoy it. And yeah, I've gone to like Manco's store. I've looked at stuff on the Steam market board, and I've got a couple things, don't get me wrong. And I enjoy it. And it feels a little odd to have such a, like, I would argue a thriving economy, right? And like, I don't know, like, how do I word this? If I go to Manco store, because I prefer Manco store specifically, and I was to go like, how do I spell French? Monsieur, I don't know how you spell the stupid frog. Yeah, like this one is Soundwave specifically. I mean, like, you'll have some like assassin grade like unusuals, right? This is a lower tier like unusual, right? Don't get me wrong. And it's like people will clearly pay for these things, right? Like 100%. It's like the game has a functioning economy. And to be fair, I've done my best to engage with it in good faith, right? Gosh, I see Sam in Max head so constantly. It's wild. So it just kind of strikes me as odd that, like, so the question I have first, and I'm going to predicate my statement with this. When TF2 has bad updates, does it actually affect the economy when people can't play? Or is it just assumed that the game is in a state that every update it'll kind of brick or something will brick, so therefore it doesn't affect the economy? So then thus, I kind of go to my actual statement of, like, I'm pretty sure Valve gets a cut, do they not? Especially on like things on the Steam market specifically. So I get that it's not the esports scene that they want, but doesn't this shake confidence in Valve? Well, to be fair as well, right? We had Charlie went over, I guess, what was it? Something about CS Counter-Strike 2 and something about certain skins. You can trade like 5 of them for a knife skin. And it was like 2 billion with a B of market cap was lost. And you just kind of sit here and go, okay. But I guess I'm also looking at this from a trader and economic standpoint. So it's really interesting. At minimum, can you imagine if Call of Duty was like unplayable on launch? Can you imagine if like the new Pokemon game was unplayable on launch? Like, I know there's only so much that they could do, but at the same time, it's like the game sees a fair and significant amount of players, and them introducing casual versus quick play really did kind of foobar the game, in my own personal opinion. Sure, you could argue that I'm definitely piggybacking off of Zesty Jesus on that one, but he does bring up good points. Like, quick play just, from everything I've heard about it, just seemed infinitely superior. It's so strange. If people don't know what the case is, no new unusuals and katas go up on the market. That too, and that harms the economy because, like, funny frog hat, right? What if I wanted a funny frog hat that had like a deep sea rave effect? Because I'm pretty sure it can drop with that unusual. I don't know if it could drop with like a hellfire or any of the summoning circle ones. I don't know how that really works. And this is also assassin's grade too, so like, I mean, yeah, that's the higher drop rate. But like, smaller drop rate because higher tier. State of the cosmetics could be questioned. However, it does not fit. If it does not fit the game tones, themes, and stylizations, people don't open new cases, even if they don't like the cosmetics. Thus, Valve's bottom line gets hurt the money. Like, it feels odd. It feels like Valve is kind of shooting themselves in the foot. And I don't know if it's a regulatory thing or if they just don't want to deal with the economics. We'll rewind a little bit. That way I can let them do the thing.
Updates arrive, TF2 literally breaks. It is often impossible to play the new content, either because the servers break or the content itself breaks. I honestly can't remember the last time we had a seasonal update where this did not happen. Versus Saxton Hale was unplayable for 3 weeks after launch.
Yikes.
Zombie Infection was a buggy mess with missing assets on launch. Some of the new maps for every update always have something wrong with them, ranging from screwed up textures to game-breaking bugs to dropping 100 frames by simply looking in a different direction. Thanks to the matchmaking system, anytime Valve touches the game, the servers break. You often can't even queue for a server when the updates drop, and this lasts for days or even weeks at a time. Hell,
I'm assuming that would affect trading as well, right? So I think that's the thing, is I focus on trading, but I think we have to acknowledge, right, that Team Fortress 2 inherently is a game that is tied to its economy. The fact that you can go and buy the Bat Saber from somebody, like, sure, there's certain things like whatever the cinematography thing was, right? Like the Grammy knockoff, right? Like, you can't get certain things like that. Yes, there's hyper rare things like the Golden Frying Pan. There are certain out of date things like strange PDAs. Like there's stuff like that, right? But like within reason, if you see a hat, generally you can acquire it, right? It's the mother of all microeconomics. Yeah, exactly. Like it you look at other games, and especially when TF2 like was big, right? You see where other games got this, and like people have long-standing accounts. I'm sure. What is it? There were aren't there like some miscellaneous that used to be unusual, or there's like some weird interaction there. Like legacy items do actually exist. Like there's things you cannot physically get anymore. And I'm not just saying like from a gentleman collection, top shelf minigun. It's like things that like game will not allow you to generate any more of. Well, I guess, yeah, top shelf is kind of one of them. Anyways, I don't know. It's so strange. Like, because you have to have that discussion. Like me, dude, I show up. Sometimes the lobby decides to conga or Kazaski kick, right? Cool. We can have a fun time. Or if they don't, you know, if I show up to a lobby and they don't Kazaski kick or something like that, it's like, I can still have a fun time, right? Like, the fact that I can just play TF2 and have fun, and don't get me wrong, when I want to ultra try hard sweat, yeah, I'll pop up an engineer, right? And I'll be building like 3 buildings at once, and I'll be trying to play fairly aggressive on the front line, right? Drop that tier 3 turret, watch things go, and then make sure I'm building my teleporters correctly, right? Like, I enjoy the game at a casual level, and I enjoy the game at a more competitive level. But when the gameplay gets impacted, that becomes the issue. And it makes me, like, just kind of confused. I know the hamster keeping the server running is definitely a little overworked.
Last year's Scream Fortress was unplayable for about a month because of the abysmal queue times, and it took Valve just as long to slap a band-aid on the problem, which clearly didn't solve anything because here we are, 1 year later, experiencing these same queue times again. Just for a moment, imagine if this happened in GTA 5. Imagine if a GTA 5 update launched and for 2 weeks you just couldn't complete new missions, or they didn't work. What else would you call this other than the game breaking? War Thunder is another example of an old game that still receives updates. Gaijin often pushes broken updates, but the players complain, and they eventually fix these issues down the line. What?
Oh boy! Yeah, you could say that. Oh my god! What is it? Planes clipping on spawn as a band-aid fix so people don't troll. Tanks having up to 8 seconds of invulnerability for spawning. That way you just don't get sweeped, right? So if if a team is just better than you, you can just like abuse invulnerability. Also, what is it? Someone mentioned, I guess, like tanks used to have like bullet holes and stuff. Like you shot and they like retained the bullet holes, and I guess Gaijin just quietly removed it. I have my issues, don't get me wrong. But you also, on the other side of the fence, I also understand that these are things that keep me away from the game, and people who actually play the game can say, these are why these spawn protections exist. And I go, okay, that makes sense. It's not my game. I think it's stupid, but it's your guys' game. As long as Gaijin treats you well, which I know they don't, that's what matters, right? We come to a reasonable agreement there. Yeah, dude, oh god, I have opinions on War Thunder.
Gaijin doesn't do is leave issues in the game to break again with each and every update. Is it not normal to expect at least some degree of effort? Especially for what could be considered the bare minimum level of maintenance to keep a game going? In my opinion, TF2 is not in a good spot right now, and hasn't been for a long time. It doesn't deserve the lack of care it's being subject to, despite it still earning Valve tens of millions of dollars a year. There's not much out there getting players excited about the game anymore, at least not for long, because any excitement we have for new content quickly turns to disappointment. The new content we receive is effectively guaranteed to have something wrong with it. If I was a new player, and this was my first major update experience, yeah, that wouldn't get me excited about the game's future. That wouldn't make me eager to come back to the game. In fact, it would harbor the opposite reaction. If you look at the last few years of player data, long-term trends show that players are slowly bleeding out. Players aren't staying. New updates breaking, which compound with the matchmaking system's dysfunctionality, will keep getting worse, especially as more players leave, as more maps are added, and the remaining player base gets stretched even thinner. More game-breaking bugs will keep rising to the surface every single time Valve touches that rushed, disappointing matchmaking system. I explained why in great detail in my last major video.
Yeah, that's actually, as I understand it, that video got age restricted because I think it was it the TF2 Reddit got upset at him, and they specifically reported the Always Sunny in Philadelphia part, Alt F4ing is badass. What a wild thing to get an entire video demonetized from people who just, bro, go touch grass. Like, seriously. Oh my god. It's the always the fact that like a 4-hour video was canned because the TF2 Reddit got so butthurt from the video that they latched onto the Always Sunny in Philadelphia clip and completely just nuked the video. Wild. And this is why once again I just don't really associate with fandoms or communities, right? Like, if I find a game cool and people play the game and they're cool, like, sure, we can vibe, right? But in terms of, like, are you a Warhammer fan? Are you a, insert fandom here? Are you a TF2 fan? It's like, I mean, I enjoy it. I will not identify with the fandom or community. I will say I enjoy the game because this is what happens.
It doesn't matter if you agree or disagree with me on what needs to be done about TF2's situation. The issue right now is that no one is really making any concerted efforts to do anything about this, let alone address it. Only the players in game chat and some of the Reddit community are having anything resembling a public discourse about this. There's a bit of dread washing over the community right now. None of the really popular YouTubers are uploading. Even Reddit's response to the last couple of updates was quite morose.
I was under the impression the TF2 Reddit would be supportive of the game. This is a little odd to me.
So, is this it? Is this ever going to change?
No.
How long does this need to go on for, and how much worse does this need to get? How many more flashbacks to VScript Saxton Hale's launch? How many repeats of new content getting hyped up that just completely doesn't work? How much more until something gives and we all say something about this? Will TF2 keep receiving broken updates in 2026?
Yes.
2028?
Yep.
2030? What needs to happen before we have a serious conversation?
Valve needs to get a second hamster. And we'll hook the two wheels together so that way, instead of being additive, the power is multiplicative. Not quite exponential, because that would require at least 3 hamsters, even if the third one was half-starved. We just get another hamster, and we put it with the other hamster. Bam. We've done it. We fixed it.
This is not okay. This should not be happening, especially when a company like Valve is at the helm. I think it's safe to assume that we all love this game and want what's best for it. If we seriously care about TF2's longevity, something that Valve clearly wants, otherwise they would have shut down the servers years ago, it's time for the player base to figure out what the consensus is on all of these problems and what we can do about it.
I don't think anyone at Valve even plays TF2.
Love and Lore TF2 is hands down my favorite game of all time, no contest, but modern TF2 doesn't even crack top 20.
They don't lobby up with the other developers to try and rank up in matchmaking, and they certainly don't play man versus machine in their free time.
Maybe.
So in their defense, and he goes over this in the video, the competitive community really did a number on TF2. The gloves of quickening or whatever it is, the stupid heavy the stupid heavy gloves that make you go like, what, 30% faster but give you minor temporary health drain. Yeah, that was comp TF2 players who did that. Remember. Like, in fairness to Valve, okay? Like slight defense, right? Not necessarily excusing the behavior. The comp community did a number on it. Like, gloves are running urgently, thank you. Yeah, that was it was a really good 4-hour video. It's why I'm really upset that the TF2 Reddit decided to just mollywob the video. It actually brought a lot of good points to the table.
It's the community, maybe it's the state of the dev team, maybe it's me just being jaded.
TF2 is really starting to prioritize quantity over quality.
And as a result, they don't focus on if the experience of the game is actually fun, balanced, fair.
I remember a time when every new map and game mode was something to be celebrated.
So how would we expect them to be down with handling the intricacies of how TF2 works as a video game without communicating with us?
The issue that both I and I think a lot of other people that I know have with casual, though, is that it doesn't really feel fun a lot of the time.
See, now that casual is actually back, we get to deal with casual problems again.
The balance is pretty whack. It feels like some people are trying way harder than others.
Hey, guess what?
The keyword is casual problems. As I understand it, none of these issues happened in Quick Play, or at the very least, the issues that were experienced in Quick Play were vastly less than what you deal with in casual. Like, that update really did a number on the game. Like, what was it? Oh my god, I was talking about something. It was something really stupid in a match. Oh, It was a community night, I think. One of the issues that I've run into is where a team will stomp you 3 times in a row, and then same teams, you'll win like the 4th game, but or you start to win. And the moment you start to win that 4th game, everyone decides to rock the boat. Everyone decides to scramble teams. And it pisses me off, right? Like, here's the thing. If I'm fighting an overwhelming team, like I played Halo Reach, right, back on the 360. I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, right? Like, if I run into a player who is just that superior, or I'm running into players or a stack who is that superior, I'll fight against it if it's fair, right? If it's a fair game and they're just better than me, sure, I'll do it. To get stomped 3 times in a row, and game 4, we start to push back and start to gain traction, and they immediately scramble team. That is the dumbest thing that I have seen in this game to date. It is so stupid. Like, and there's no stopping it. And I hear that it's because of new systems and because of the casual integration that really causes these issues. Or like, you'll experience the degradation of lobbies, where like I'll go into like a seasonal event or something. I think it hasn't been that bad as like after this kind of got fixed in an update, right? This one's been fine in the summer update, and I have this on one of the streams on the gaming channel that I uploaded, where it's like you get down to a lobby and it's like after the first initial game, the initial push, right? It's half the players leave, and then half the players leave again, and it's like then you have like 4 players in the lobby, and then you snipe their medic, and now they're down to 3 players in the lobby, and like you just see the lobby degrade. To which what becomes the solution? The solution, as TF2 the community will tell you, is why are you staying in the lobby? Just disconnect 5head and search again. That feels odd to me, to not only like hear about it, but to also experience it firsthand and understand that these are problems with casual and what Valve has done over recent years. You have to remember, I don't have a history with this game. This is not like I am an Uncle Dane or a Soundsmith or a Lazy Purple, right? I'm not any sort of like long-standing TF2 player. I played like once in like 2015, hopped on like once a couple years later, but like legitimately me reacting to and starting to play is me experiencing it for the first time. So if I'm coming into this pretty fresh, right, and I feel I've been very fair with a lot of things, when I'm coming into this fresh and I go, this is pretty bad, like and the response reasonably is kind of shrug, because it's like, yeah, like that's the problem. That's just what the TF2 community deals with. They're really getting the short end of the stick from Valve.
Team stacks aren't just an Uncle Topia thing. I feel like we all kind of forgot that.
The game modes either stall out or finish extremely quickly, forcing you to re-queue or just be locked in a stalemate forever.
Ooh, Frontier. Cool.
Shout it from the mountaintops, baby.
Thunder Mountain.
Server is changing level.
Wait, it actually is.
Also, what? The game just ended! What the fuck is this shit? I have to vote for a map?
Yeah, a lot of the time when you casual queue, you'll get into a game at the end of the game, because that's what...
Is that Germa? I've never heard of Germa. I heard something about like Vine Sauce talking about him and a bee, but I have no clue who Germa is.
Everyone leaves to find a good game.
The problem is that the fucking casual matchmaking server sucks. The matchmaking algorithm is fucking cooked.
And there are plenty of issues just with that kind of balancing that I think would need to be fixed for TF2's what is essentially the main mode of the game to be in a playable state.
No, I'm actually completely on board there. I think it was the removal of quick play was a huge fuck up.
God damn, I miss quick play.
What I'm suggesting is after 5 years or 6 years or however long of it being gone, we bring back quick play.
Wow, it's almost like this is just the consistent fucking consensus. Blows my mind, bro.
We all agree that there are problems. All of us. Why aren't we talking about this more? I think most of us agree that Valve should treat TF2 better. And listen, we know TF2 is 18 years old. We know expecting Valve to give it the same level of attention as they did in 2010 is foolish. We also know that TF2 will never be the same as it was in its glory days.
No.
Nobody is really asking for this. We just want to not be disappointed by the game breaking every single time Valve drops an update. Updates that they don't even make, their players make it for them.
And that I've actually talked about this in a prior video where if I I have not so nice things to say about the people who try to like they I don't know how they find me. I don't know if it's AI, I don't know if it's like bots that scan my inventory or whatever. But even me who like I get like 20 to 50 viewers when I upload an episode to the gaming channel of me playing TF2 with like the community, right? And like I react to a video here and there. The fact that I am getting swarmed with random friend invites, some of them Russian, some of them not, and I'll have people who my Metal Gear Solid Delta stream was interrupted by somebody who pestered me about, would you rate my workshop item? I'll pay you in keys. And I'm like, no, go away. Like who do I talk to about that? Like, is it these reseller sites? Is it a bot? Is it an algorithm? Like, who do I need to give a swift kick in the ass to leave me alone? Because you want to talk about scaring off new players, just having random chat member going and buying an unusual because you liked it, right? Even if it's like a low tier unusual. And as soon as your backpack has any sort of value, people are going to do it. In fact, let me... I'm pretty sure if I actually go here... Yep, I have... Is that 4? Oh, how many pending is that? Yep, incoming friend requests. I have 4 from people I have no idea who these are. So, yeah, who do I talk to about that? Because I got a bone to pick.
If Valve is really wanting to sunset this game, made very apparent by their release of the SDK and the indefinite status quo that we've been in for 8 years, at the very least, they can leave TF2 in a state that's consistently enjoyable to play, and make sure that whatever new content they add doesn't make the game literally impossible to play. TF2 deserves more than a handful of Reddit posts or niche figures addressing these kinds of problems. The kinds of problems that affect minute-to-minute gameplay, that affect the persistently shambling update model that Valve will seemingly be maintaining indefinitely into the future. This should be really important for those who care about how TF2 is going to be remembered, or anyone that still wants to play TF2 as the years creep on. Do we really...
Look, I don't have a lot of experience in TF2. We've established this. Bro, I'm upset that I can't play the game. Because I might suck, but I kind of want to play the game. It's one of the only PvP games I will actually pick up and just play. So it irritates me that I and many others legitimately cannot actually play the game because it breaks.
We need another year's worth of broken updates? Do we really need to hemorrhage more players? Do we really need to wait for the potential catastrophe that a slapdash NVM update might look like? With how the past 3 years of update launches have gone, can we really honestly say that we expect Valve to prepare their matchmaker for NVM? Are they really going to accommodate an influx of players or anything that resembles a smooth rollout? I certainly don't think they will, and I don't know how you could either, but...
Is this IP squatting? Like, so here's the thing, right? Like, let's say someone, and it doesn't even have to be EA. Let's say a bunch of the community got together, and they're like, Valve, we will give you $1 billion to buy TF2 from you. Do you think Valve would do that? No. But that's the thing, is it's like, they want to keep the asset, but they don't want to take care of the asset and let it depreciate. And then people be like, then fine, we'll do it ourselves. But then Valve wouldn't want to work with that, right? And to be fair, right, it's not like, you can force Valve to give it up. And I don't think that's what people want at all. I don't think people want to take it from Valve. Like he's saying, it's like, do we really need more years of broken updates? Can we get just some decent updates? Can we get like some communication? Like, it's wild to me. If this happened with any other game, even any other Valve game, can you imagine this happening to Counter-Strike? I don't know. I was like, Counter-Strike, I guess, isn't happy right now because of their whole knife trading thing, right? Like, you imagine this happening to Dota? It blows my mind.
We have the power and influence to get things changed. We've done this before. Whenever we talk about bad hats and skins, we sometimes get better hats and skins. When we asked Valve to unmute free-to-plays, they mostly unmuted free-to-plays. When we complained about too much holiday content, specifically maps, we got summer updates. We complained loud enough about the bots, and it seems like Valve listened and actually did something.
Okay, wasn't it that one dude, though, that fixed the bot crisis? Wasn't it like that one dude who was like, hey, I kind of want to do this, and then he like actually fixed it? The absolute like legend that guy was.
Cleaning works. Raising alarm works.
How about Deadlock? I've heard of that. Deadlock already has cheats. Bro, Valve, what? Maybe this is why Valve doesn't develop games anymore. Like, to be fair, they kind of have it made just being like the platform that sells games, right? And that's the thing, is like not everything Valve does like touches becomes gold. They had a forced arbitration policy, as I understand it, before other companies did. And they only walked it back because it was suddenly costing them more than class actions. So there's that, right? Like the whole Visa MasterCard thing and how like Steam just kind of lies down, right? Like, don't get me wrong, we have funny Gabbin memes, right? But like, they are a better option. They could still be better though, right? Like, sure, they're not EA. They're not Ubisoft, right? But that doesn't mean we should, kiss the ground they walk on, right? That's pretty fair. Bad cheats right away in the previous version. That's wild to me that a new product by them has this. I mean, I guess, like, to be fair, it's one of those things where Counter-Strike Go, TF2 have been around long enough that it's like, I'm sure that hats and certain gun skins don't depreciate, right? I don't know. Like, I don't know how you read this. I don't know. Like, I'm just as lost as people who have been playing this game for a long time. It makes me so sad coming into this and seeing the absolute state of it.
Mostly unmuted free-to-plays. When we complained about too much holiday content, specifically maps, we got summer updates. We complained loud enough about the bots, and it seems like Valve listened and actually did something. Complaining works. Raising alarm works. It is long overdue for everyone to acknowledge how Valve treats this game. Simply brushing this to the side is only going to make these problems worse. Exactly what needs to be done about these problems, we can argue that until Kingdom Come.
Right.
But can we at least start? Some of us have, thank God. Wheezy, for example, is raising alarm about the MVM update. He's pointing out that Valve can't just pick whatever maps have pretty thumbnails and toss them into the game. I think it's a perfectly acceptable expectation for a game company to always playtest new content before releasing it.
Bro, do we not have PTRs? Like, and that's the thing. Like, obviously, things like Destiny don't do it, right? But like, don't games have PTRs? How many people, how many content creators would jump on something like that to actually PTR? And it's like, hey, you may test this, right? It's not a situation where you have like comp players making the gloves of urgently running a thing, right? Like, bro, people will do this. I'm sure they'd sign NDAs all day.
Instead of offloading that responsibility onto the players and then retroactively fixing any problems that arise. That alone would greatly improve the seasonal update cycle. Look, it's pretty obvious that a distaste for the state of the game passively permeates throughout most of its players, more so now than during any previous point in TF2's history, aside from the launch of Meet Your Match, of course. It's not a niche or uncommon opinion that the matchmaking system sucks. It is deeply flawed and hurts this game. At some point in the last decade, every notable person you can think of has said something about the dismal state of the game. It's hardly anything brave or daring to say at this point, and yet, since 2017, virtually nothing has been done about this. Other issues defiling the game in recent years have brought about multiple meetings of the minds, where people who can and want to make a difference have coordinated to try and make Valve do something. Now I admit, I have been critical of these things. If you know anything about me, you know I don't exactly see eye to eye with a solid chunk of the TF2ber crowd. That didn't exactly change when so many of them wound up in the driver's seat of these digital campaigns. So I'm not presenting myself as a saint. I'm not gonna pretend that I've likely not made certain community efforts a little bit harder through my scrutiny. I can only hope that people believe me when I say, It was never the act itself of lobbying to improve the game that I ever want to discourage. That act is absolutely necessary. But what I will present to you is myself. Someone that has spent thousands of hours playing TF2, spent tens of thousands of my own money on it over the course of 15 years. I've built a sizable YouTube channel off of this game. I've made lifelong friends in the game. Even my current girlfriend came as a result of my interactions with the player base.
Hey, man, could you do fan art? Honestly based, though.
And I do know for a fact that there are plenty of other people who give a damn about TF2 with a similar intensity. People who want something to be done. This is my video attempting to reach those people. Just for one occasion, for one moment in time, I would like for all of us to put aside any contentions you have about me, have about what I've said, and just hear me out from one person who cares deeply about this game, about its longevity and its legacy to another. I am damn well sure that if nothing happens to fix these problems with matchmaking, or if the level of care we receive does not improve, TF2, this game that is so deeply important to millions of people, is going to have the last leg of its life defined not by a beautiful sunset like it deserves, but by a whimper. A whimper that is a ham-fisted series of automated updates, smashing in more and more gigabytes of borderline unplayable or broken content until it eventually becomes impossible for players to connect to an official server. I don't know if I'm coming off as dramatic, but even if this game was not running on the Source engine from 2004, Valve's current update model going forward would still be unsustainable. I genuinely fear that TF2 will be the first online game to literally grow so big with content that its vascular system can't pump enough blood to keep it alive. This is already happening in low population regions like Australia, Oceania, and it's only going to get worse. We may all watch TF2 drop dead in front of us in the next 4 to 5 years, despite Valve still offering the game as live and pumping in more content. And the worst part is that it's not that hard to improve these things and stop that from happening. It doesn't take that much work. Other YouTubers like Lister have illustrated that there is a small series of steps that Valve could take that would immediately help stop a good amount of the bleeding. This won't happen unless something starts moving. I don't know what else I can say to get things going. If you're a viewer of mine that's been holding out hope that the last 2 years I've spent bitching at Valve would rub off on some people and maybe lead to something shifting in the game, I just gotta say I'm honestly at my wit's end on how to push these issues on my own anymore. I really feel like I've done just about everything that I can. Streaming every update, reporting on the bugs and the matchmaking system issues, that didn't help. I can't even play the fucking game! Fuck!
This game makes them hundreds of millions of dollars. You have to remember that.
Oh
Making a 4-hour documentary about this that got promoted by people as huge as fucking Pyrocynical, that didn't help. Streaming every month, if not multiple times a month, to highlight good and high quality content for Valve to select. That did make a little bit of a dent, but that wasn't a complete solution. We also have smaller respected channels doing their own analyses and coming to the same conclusions as I have, and that hasn't seemed to help either. We are exactly where we were 9 years ago. So forgive me if I sound a bit bitter, but from where I sit, it really seems like it's up to the other voices in the TF2 community. Those who have their own social capital completely divorced from whatever baggage I have, to pick up this torch and try to wake up the rest of the room. And if the community doesn't activate, if those YouTubers that in this current fucked up arrangement have become basically the representatives of this entire fucking game instead of the players themselves, if those YouTubers stay quiet, in the next few years, I fear there won't be much left to fight for. So long as Valve offers TF2 as a playable, monetized product, we have the right to campaign for better. Its age does not matter. Its lack of revenue does not matter. This is Valve, the company that was once heralded as pioneers of the gaming and tech industry. Their ironclad reputation was well-deserved. But how they treat Team Fortress 2, one of their flagship games, one of the greatest and most beloved games ever made, is nothing short of pathetic. It is long overdue for all of us to have this conversation.
I can tell the difference between things from my youth that suck now, things from my youth that are still great, and then things from my youth that I didn't understand, but now I find great. So this whole, come on guys, things never actually get worse. It's just your nostalgia goggles, this type of thinking. This is really good rhetoric when you want to progressively violate and extort your cult members.
It's just like, what the fuck, bro? The game is broken every 3 months and no one cares. It's like that's actually insane. Like no other game is like that. No other game that makes this much money is like that. No game that makes like a quarter as much as money. This game is like that.
Imagine if Call of Duty just had issues connecting to servers tomorrow. Like Black Ops 7 comes out, you literally can't connect to servers, and they're like, "Nah, it'll be fine. We'll fix it in like 3 weeks." Bro, how many refunds would that get? It's wild to me. Like what he says is honestly true. Like you have to understand when I'm criticizing. Really, really don't know what else to do. No one with voices seems to care. The players care, but can't agree what needs to be done about things. Hope this helps. Nothing changes unless we hold Valve accountable. Like it's true. It's 100% true. Like accountability, as it turns out, is a great motivator when people are suddenly accountable for their actions, right? Well, here's the thing. You know what we could all agree on? Quick play sucks. Sorry, excuse me. Casual sucks. Bring back quick play. Like universally, this seems to be the thing. And so the thing, when I'm criticizing the TF2 Reddit, right? Very specifically, it's getting sent that, you know, a screenshot of Zesty Jesus saying, "I used a clip of It's Always Sunny where DeVito says Alt F4ing is badass," and that flagged the entire video. That's the part that I'm criticizing. That part of the community would much rather complain and report videos because their feelings got hurt and something that is outside of their little bubble was said, and they don't like it. And they would rather spend time and effort doing that than adding their voice to the chorus of, like, we just want to play the game. We want Valve to allow us to play the game we've spent all this time and potentially money into. It shouldn't feel like a fight, right? So, I don't know. I feel like I get fairly combative, and it's something that I'm actively trying to work on. Like, I am boggled, dude. Like, yeah, I bought Battlefield 6. Would much rather hop on TF2 if I'm being honest, but it's kind of hard to top on TF2 when shit's just broken. Like, as someone new coming into this, missing the entirety of the bot crisis, it blows my mind. But at the end of the day, come to your own educated conclusion. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me, you can be apathetic, or you can, you know, whatever, you can see some good points, but nothing that I really want to do. It sounds like Zesty Jesus is, for all intents and purposes, done his due diligence. He's done what he can, right? And it sounds like, yeah, there's a bunch of other people who, you know, could be speaking up or could be doing something more. Then do it, right? Like, just then do it. If you want the game to succeed, then do it. TF2 comp is just not gonna happen, right? Not only is the game buggy, you know, like when spies can trick stab you in the face and it still counts as a backstab, and that's a core thing that's known in TF2. Experiencing this on stream, right? It's like, yeah, comp's not gonna happen. So if you want to do your Highlanders, if you want to do whatever comp format you want to, sorry, that's going to be your own house rules. And that's what the comp scene did do, right? In his own 4-hour video. The comp scene did, TF2 comp isn't what I really want, because no one can agree. So have your own comp scenes. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. Like, but for people like me who just would love to be able to hop into quick play, or someone new who sees this and like, oh, TF2, they have... Oh, sorry. Feel a little sick. My throat's a little dry on that one. And they see the funny, like, haha, Spy gets a funny frog hat with jiggle physics, right? And they want to go buy it, right? And it's like, then they just want to play it. And I don't know, man. It's so wild. Like, it is so wild to watch this game just get absolutely let go. And it blows my mind. Because I missed out on a lot of TF2. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what on earth it is that prevents Valve from doing anything about this. It blows my mind. But at the end of the day, come to your own educated conclusion, right? You can only do what you can with Ethan every day. Just do what you can so that at the end of the day, you can look in the mirror and say that you did your best. And I can tell you, as somebody who missed pretty much the entirety of Team Fortress 2 until literally the past few months, I've been having a great time. I'm awful, but I've been having a lot of fun. It's been really cool. There's been some frustrating moments, but I want the game to be accessible to everyone it can. And I do think that there is a lot of potential for the game still. A lot of the issues aside, a lot of the, you know, your backpack has value. Suddenly you're a trader, quote unquote. Hey, you wanna rate my workshop item? You wanna talk about things? Like, some of that needs to get ironed out. That's wild. I can't imagine playing Counter-Strike or anything like that. War Thunder, because there's a War Thunder community market, and somebody just like, hey, you want to trade me your whatever? It's like, bro, go away, right? I don't know. But every community has their leeches. Every community has, you know, their negative Nancy's. That's just, we have to judge every community fairly. Honestly, loving the game. Sad to see it go this way. And it makes me really sad that every update the game just seems to break. So do what you will with that information. Thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. Zesty Jesus, thank you for an amazing video. I honestly found it a lot of fun. I can see your passion ring through. And I think a lot more people are sympathetic and understanding. I just don't think they really know what they can do. And for everybody, I hope Team Fortress 2 can get to a point where, sure, maybe it may not be the king again, but at least you can maybe be able to log in on an update and play the game. That's enough for me. Thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you found some insight or some value in this. Definitely go check out the original video, and I will see you in the next one.